And hello, welcome to another episode of Days of the Wolf. This is D Wolf coming at you live somewhere in a secret location within the Northwest. It is October 18th, 2018 on a Thursday. Okay, so what's the news for today? The news for today is Ubuntu Cosmic Cuttlefish has just been released. The 18.10 Linux distribution is out, and it's looking pretty good. It has the 4.18 Linux kernel, and that updates for a lot better support for AMD NVIDIA GPU. It has a USB Type C and Thunderbolt, a way for underprivileged users to mount file system in user space, otherwise known as a fuse. It can be mounted by CPU Freak or frequency performance improvements. On top of this, you'll have the freshest version of GNOME 3.30. Not a lot of people are fans of GNOME. I'm kind of in the mix a little bit. I like KDE a little bit more just because it has it. But GNOME's come. I mean, all the desktop systems have come a long way. You can use it on other desktops and stuff like that. So I mean, we basically have a really sophisticated operating system. And one of the things that not a lot of people know, or probably more of your experienced users know, is that it was originally spawned from Debian. And I started using Red Hat early, and then I got into Debian, and then I got into Ubuntu just because I liked the way it was a little easier to use, and it has a very strong community too. So one of the things I experiment with a lot, particularly when I'm dealing with new operating systems and stuff, is I like to put them on a USB stick and kind of test them out. And on the blog that I should have down, I have links to pretty much everything. So the idea is to get the Rufus Utility. If you have a USB stick, get the Rufus Utility. It's really straightforward if you have Windows. I'm not sure about Mac because I don't have a Mac. But once you already have Linux installed, so what do you need to do after that? Basically, it's really easy. You plug in your USB drive. Once you've downloaded the ISO and the Rufus utility, you can open Rufus with and write directly to the USB. Select the ISO image, Debian or whatever one you just downloaded to the USB, and fill out the other options. Selecting your USB drive, etc. You click on the options for starting the write process, and with Rufus, and click the start button. Rufus will do its magic, and once that's done, you simply reboot from your USB, and you can start tinkering around with the ISO, Debian OS or whatever, and you can start playing with it. One of the things that I've kind of experienced, I'm a big time gamer, and my main computer is Windows 10 typically, but I'm just getting frustrated as hell with it. I got my Linux installs, but I usually utilize that pretty much just for development, running servers and stuff. Windows is not really meant for that to be done professionally, I think. Yeah, you can write games on it and stuff like that, and that's what it's for. But Linux holds a lot in my heart because there's no licensing. It's free. It's close to. It's open source, so you can compile everything from the source. Unlike Windows or unlike Mac, even though Mac is kind of emulated on a BSD predecessor. Anyway, that was the quick news that I wanted to share with you about Ubuntu. There's some other things that I've kind of posted up on my social profiles. Let's see if I can find them really fast. Make this a quick video. Oh. Yeah, actually, it's been kind of a slow news day. The library SSH had a problem with its authentication bypass, which left the servers wide open, which is never good. NASA astronaut details fall to Earth after failed Soyuz launch. So a while back there was the failed launch, and I have a link, an article of an astronaut that kind of went into details on what he experienced and stuff. Also, scientists discover weird noises in Antarctica ice shelf. Oh, you conspiracy people will love this. Spooky noises. It's so close to Halloween too, so it's like interesting. So there's a thing down there or something. And one of the largest organisms is shrinking, and I think it's for the pando-aspen clones. So people don't know that this series of trees is one organism, like from a single DNA, and it's huge. But it looks like Mother Nature is utilizing the mule deer to eat away the pando-aspen clone. Obviously not when they're big trees, just when they're little sprouts. And near and dear to my heart, I'm not really a Samsung fanboy, but I have to say that if it comes to the point between Samsung and Apple, I tend to side with Samsung every time. Just because, I mean, they're both corporations. They both want to make their margins, but I just feel that Samsung does a little bit better, trying to lower their price point so everybody can have their units, which is smart to do anyway. Anyway, that's all I really had to say for today. I hope everybody's having a great Thursday. And this is D Wolf signing off.